Hello, and welcome to Food Drama TV News. I'm Food Drama Rob, the nutritionist for the people. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to download the life-changing How to Lose Weight Fast home program at fooddramatv.com. All right, let's get this drama started. Today I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about meats and how the food companies continue to deceive us and lie to us because they lie. And one of the reasons why they get away with this is because the American people just don't think that they're lying. And we think that when we go into the supermarkets, everything's okay and our government is protecting us. Sorry, people. That's not what's happening. The food industry pays off the politicians to keep these poisons in your food to create illness and sickness. And I tell you all the time, it's very, very difficult for people to understand that. And I know people, good old America, people like good old America, oh, the world's greatest country in the world. Well, you know, a lot of this stuff I'm talking about, they don't even have this in other countries. And trust me, people understand it and they're getting out of here because they're tired. They're tired of it. And I'm staying here to let you know what is going on. So, I'm going to show you this video about what they're doing to our red meats. And you'll be surprised what's going on. Now, here's what's going on. I did a video about the rendering industry, and we're going to do a little more about the rendering industry, how they're chopping up animals, and they're putting it in our foods. It's hard to believe, but they're doing that. But nothing is thrown away in this country. And what they're doing to our meats is they're using what is called a meat glue. So they're taking different parts of meats and they're gluing them together because they're trying to save money and they don't want to throw away any of these scraps. So they're using meat glue, and these meat glues are extremely, extremely poisonous. And you're going to see how poisonous they are and how deceptive the food industry is and how they're lying to the American public. All right, let's run this video.
The industry-wide secret butchers don't want you to know about. Major suppliers have been caught using a special product known as meat glue to stick together scraps of meat to sell as prime cuts. But while this product has been banned overseas, there's no law prohibiting its use here. Here's Rodney Lowe's with this special investigation.
It's the meat industry's dirty secret, a way of turning the scraps too small to sell as a premium steak back into a juicy, plump eye fillet to sell for a premium price. So clever, you'll never tell. Not even an expert can.
Before, you didn't even pick that as a join, though, did you?
It doesn't even tear through the joint. A bit hard to tell, isn't it?
Butcher James Faulkner runs Queensland Natural Beef Company, an organisation dedicated to using as few additives in meat from paddock to plate as possible. But tonight, he's exposing how some parts of the industry are able to trick their customers and use whatever it takes.
Just want to chime in right quick. He said they're trying to trick you. Now, they're tricking you, but there's no regulations to this. The Food and Drug Administration, which, believe it or not, most people think it's the government. It is not the government. The Food and Drug Administration is an outside organization that you believe is the government. It's an outside corporation that is hired by the federal government to regulate supposedly foods and drugs and make sure they're safe for Americans, but they do whatever they want. So don't get it twisted. Just run it.
It's got some fine diced beef and my special enzyme. I'm just going to mix it up a bit.
Why have we got the masks on?
This is dangerous. See that? Don't breathe that in.
This powder is transglutamase enzyme, otherwise known as meat glue. Meat glues come in a number of forms, some produced by cultivating bacteria, the others, the primary ingredient comes from the blood plasma of pigs and cattle. Specifically,
First of all, you notice he's wearing a mask, which means that this stuff is very dangerous to you and your children and families. Number two, if you guys would go back and look at the rendering plants, and they're talking about the plasma from pigs, at these rendering plants, this is where they're getting it from. They're getting it from the rendering industry, which is a dead animal industry. So I'm letting everybody know that. Let's run it.
coagulant which causes blood to clot. In the food industry, it has amazing properties.
So just got a little bit here, about a teaspoonful.
Yep.
Just over the top like that. And with our gloves on, of course, we mix it up.
Then roll it in plastic film and refrigerate. 6 hours later, you have a solid piece of meat.
And essentially you've got a reborn, rebirthed thigh fillet.
More or less, yeah.
Ours uncooked is easy to spot the difference, but cooked is another story.
Okay, so the meat glue one is on the right and the real McCoy is on the left.
And it's not just beef. Pork, lamb, fish and chicken are all stuck back together using this glue.
It looks like one piece of chicken.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yep.
But hard to tell, isn't it?
Particularly that.
On the grill, it's even harder to pick.
So that's the real McCoy. Give this a burl. Nice and tender, nicely salted. All right, let's go for the meat glue. I can't tell the difference.
Pretty good, but potentially dangerous.
I've sort of got two.
Let me chime in here. Can you believe these guys are wearing a mask? They know that this stuff has dangerous chemicals. They cook it, and these idiots still eat it. Obviously, you're watching this. This is amazing. You can't tell the difference, but they still eat it.
But potentially dangerous.
I've sort of got two concerns. One that is well publicised, which is misleading people. The other area is the microbial side.
It's why the European Union moved to ban meat glue in May last year. Microbiologist Glenn Pinner.
If this food is sold or represented as a solid piece of steak and you cook it rare, you're really leaving yourself open to get food poisoning.
Once you glue two pieces together, it's difficult to cook thoroughly those parts that were on the outside but are now on the inside.
The amount of bacteria on a steak that has been put together with meat glue is hundreds of times higher.
Did you hear that? 100 times higher. And in the European countries, they have banned this. But in the wonderful United States, it is still being used. Most of the countries all over the world are not doing the same things that we're doing here. But your wonderful media is always promoting America the Beautiful. No, I'm not saying this is not a great country and you're not proud of your country. But it is what it is. And you better start opening up your eyes to what is going on. And I'm opening up your eyes for you. Because, again, he just said bacteria and people are getting food poisoning every day. And I'm sure most of you have gone to restaurants or eaten a piece of steak or something, and all of a sudden you run into the bathroom. You don't even know why. Most people say, I don't know why. Something went through me. Yeah, it's what they're doing to the foods. Let's run it.
We had no idea how guarded a secret this was until we started contacting restaurateurs and butchers to ask them about the use of meat glue. Many of them didn't want to speak for fear of upsetting their suppliers, creating bad blood in an industry that has become very clever at using this product.
Are you just shaking your head?
A little bit. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
This cube roll we bought from a wholesaler that produces stuck-together steaks en masse. Their effort's so good, James, our butcher, couldn't tell even when it was raw. It's even harder in the restaurant, which are some of the biggest users of glued meat. And chances are, unless you're a vegetarian, you're eating it on a regular basis. But with current labelling laws, neither butchers nor your local eatery have to tell you you're eating chicken glued together with cow's blood or beef.
Did you hear that? They don't have to tell you. They don't have to tell you anything of what's going on. And you think you're safe when you go to these restaurants? It's not only the grocery stores. It's the restaurants. My wonderful wife, at times she likes to go out, and we all like to go out and have a dining experience, but I'm very, very picky on where I go. I do not go to chains. And I'm not going to mention any names. You know what chains we're talking about. But when you go to these restaurants, they're using these tactics too. So we know this the grocery stores, and hopefully and this guy right here said he's a butcher. He couldn't even tell. Let's run the last part.
Held together by pig. It's the same reason they can take low-grade meat and pump it with water and flavour to make it edible.
Okay, so just after about a minute or two, we've got quite a lot of moisture out of there. And we've lost almost half a kilo.
Then the practice of selling mutton as lamb and old cow as prime cut beef. Like this. So old, a meat grader said it was only good for pet mince.
You've got yellow fat colour, really dark meat colour. It's definitely off a really old type of animal.
Before we run the last part of this, I wanted you to hear what he said. He said pet meats. This is why your dogs are sick. Very important that you feed your dog good foods because dogs are sick, and that's a big industry too, which we'll get into with the dog foods. But dogs they're keeling over, and they have diabetes, cancer, heart attacks because this is what they're eating. So he says they send that old meat, or they should have sent that old meat to the dog industry. So that's the last run.
In New South Wales, new labelling regulations have just been introduced to help consumers choose quality meat, but it's not compulsory. So for most of us, picking a quality piece of meat is still a shot in the dark.
Wow. That is a wow. So, like I was telling you, the food industry, they're not concerned about your health. But the most important thing you have to do that most of us you got to work on this. You have to develop a distrust for the food industry. We trust them. We trust them so much. We think we're being protected. They're not protecting you. This is why you're sick. Everybody in their family knows someone in their family that has diseases. And it's not coming from the air. You don't catch diabetes from the air. It's not catching a cold. You don't catch kidney disease. You don't catch heart disease. You don't catch cancer. They create it by putting it in your foods. Then the medical industry, which is a whole different topic, begins to suck your family of all its finances. So that's all I got to say today. Thanks for listening. Let us know how you enjoyed the information. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Food Drama TV News channel. And please order the How to Lose Weight Fast home program. Fantastic program. Gets the weight off immediately at fooddramatv.com. Enjoy your blessings. Thanks for listening. I'm out.